called the anime that's all about creativity. Could it possibly be Dandadan? All right, SinChi, teach me.
Let's watch Donadan.
Balls.
Yes, please. Donadan's almost finished
No.
airing, and it's definitely that standout slash popular show this season.
Yep.
It should have been Blue Lock, but
Yeah, it should have. But it's actually crazy how like Blue Lock is keeping up in like terms of viewership with the amount of effort in quotations being put in.
it's a project that set the tone so well in terms of how unorthodox and stylistic it looks. The bold coloring, a lot of Canada-inspired animation, and more. There's a lot to uncover, so let's cover Donadan. This video is mainly about the production value of the show, so I'm not gonna talk about the content much. There's a chance when the anime ends, maybe I'm gonna make a video about the story, but for now, animation.
Yeah, I actually it's just in a, I don't want to disrespect any anime like reviewers or video essayers, but like it does get very oversaturated when everyone is basically just making a video about how Dandadan changed my life. Like this episode of Dandadan changed my life, or like it's just a video just talking about very loose themes about Dandadan and how that like relates to their personal life and Glaze, and it's just like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's just like, can we have something else? So it's nice when we have completely different niche, right? Of people like SinChi and probably Pretentious covering the production value side of things, which I think is knowledge that I don't even know how this guy has it, bro. Maybe he's an animator, but it's definitely rare. It's unique. It makes him stand out amongst the thousands and thousands of other AniTubers that just talks about the show in a very shallow way.
Philosophy on how Donadan is so bombastic, yet can still be very subtle at utilizing so much other aspect in this medium, with meticulous, resourceful scenes that really don't need much time to execute, yet it can still feel engaging and interesting from a source material that's already very fast-paced and high-octane, but the team's still trying to find gaps or things they could extend in the manga to be better, but still didn't differ much from the source material, capturing that craziness of the show. I mean, there is people that want a one-to-one adaptation, but they're just
what? Say it. Say it.
I mean, there is people that want a one-to-one adaptation, but they're just wait. It's December. I need that money. How does this stylistic style?
I'll say it for you. Retard. You're not gonna get demonetized for that. But I do get demonetized when I say the C word. That a certain word that also means coochie. It's 4 letters. I say it, it's a trigger, bro. It's like a YouTube, like, it's as if they're just waiting for that specific word and it's limited ads immediately.
Can feel very different from other projects. Well, you can point to the studio. CEO of Silent Sorrow, Masaki Yuasa, a very unorthodox director that really has that distinct style when he's directing.
Wait, this guy did Ping Pong? Oh, now I haven't seen Ping Pong, but I've seen a lot of clips and people talking about the show, about how amazing it is despite the art turning a lot of people off because of its unorthodox style, but the movement of fluidity. Holy shit. No wonder Dandadan is so good.
Style when he's directing really made what the studio is right now with his philosophies, and as the main director for most of the Silent Sorrow projects, but stepped down as the CEO and director for the studio because he wants to take a break after
that's fair, and just living his best life,
working for basically 7 years straight. But even without Yuasa, they still follow through it with the directors that have been in the studio working alongside Yuasa. For Dandadan, this is the first time that they are trusting a new director for a high-profile project in terms of popularity. Fuga Yamashiro is the minds behind this project. While being a new director, he's definitely cemented himself as a very interesting director.
It's hard for me to memorize names of voice actors and even directors. Like, for whatever reason, I remember like soundtrack composer names like Hiroyuki Sawano, Taku Iwasaki, Shiro Sagisu, or like even like Kenichiro Suehiro, right? He does Eminence in Shadow, Isekai Shikaku, ReZero, and so on. Whatever reason, I just can't remember fucking voice actors and directors' names. But Fuga Yamashiro, new guy directing Dandadan. This is a name to be checking out for future anime projects. So if you see his name on it, probably gonna be quality.
For Dandadan. He has only been in the industry for 7 years and got his first major role as assistant director for Izoken in 2020, so he doesn't really have much of an experience. So he does take a lot of inspiration from other directors. I mean, Yuasa got interested in Yamashiro because he had a thick ass book full of
I thought you were gonna say that he saw his booty cheeks and was like, you know what? I'm gonna mentor you.
sequences that was eye-catching for him. Not that thick ass you were thinking about.
Yeah, I was
because,
thinking about that.
Damn.
I really want to suck his dick.
But nevertheless, his ambition and ideas was really captured in episode 1. He directed and storyboarded episode 1 and also episode 2, only storyboarded though. While there's
Okay.
a lot of other aspects than just Yamashiro, it's also his own art style slash
I don't even know what the fuck a storyboard versus a director is, but I'm gonna assume that storyboard is like the template, like the blueprint, like the idea of like the sequence of different scenes that's being stringed together, and the director is the one that takes it all and brings it to life and has the ultimate say of like, this gets included, this doesn't. I'm guessing that.
ideas he created for Dandadan, playing around with very bright one-dimensional colors that clashes together. Satoshi Hashimoto alongside Makiho Kondo.
Yeah, the super saturated blue and red light, you constantly see that.
Color design giving that
Okay, I was like, what the hell is this? Just Momo? But yeah, this is episode 1 Momo with different colors. Okay, base color versus determined color awakening.
distinct color palette that clashes so well with
Yeah.
everything, and in every episode too. But
Turbo
most
hack.
of all, to put all of these components together is the photography artist Kazuto Izumida. He has a very good portfolio.
Yo, Ranking of King. This is a peak anime. This is one of the first animes that I reacted to on my first channel. Season 1 was so fucking good. The quality is insane, and yeah, I guess this is why the director is working on this shit. The talent there is insane.
Being the director of photography for other shows, but he hasn't really done something this colorful. Well, he did Great Pretender. That shit was ass. So it's obvious. Okay, why did I say that? It's obvious that Yamashiro
Great Pretender is ass, apparently. He just hating. I don't know. I've never seen it.
really set the tone of the show, but Izumida really did an amazing job putting all of these together so that it doesn't feel like they're just place effects on characters without second thought. Well,
Yeah, well, who needs second thought, bro? You just have these fucking traced over manga characters, draw them in, and then give them aura. Give them fucking random colorful gas aura around them, and people will be like, peak, peak.
we'll talk about the negative soon. Another thing that's very good is Naoyuki Onda's design. How three-dimensional everything feels. While it can be hard for some inexperienced animators to translate that volumetric design, it definitely looks great when he's chief.
I don't even know what the fuck volumetric design means, but volumetric, volume, 3D. Give the immersion, the illusion that what you see in 2D is actually kind of like 3D. It feels like volumetric. I don't know how to explain it.
ADing an episode, and also the yokai slash alien design was by Yoshimichi Kamada, the most popular animator now. That
I mean, shit, if he worked on One Punch Man season 1, right? This is season 1, I think. You know this guy's goated.
animator now that specializes in Kanata style anime.
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So he's been around for a long, long time.
Animating left the blueprint of the design how blocky it feels, because he's unfortunately not involved in Dandadan much since he's the character designer for Yaiba, a very high profile
Yaiba. This means Blade. 2025 April. I'll check it out. Which studio? This screams quality. We got a studio, remember, is just a building, right? You gotta care more about like who's working on these projects, bro. Who's the elite freelance talent? And if that director is going there, and if Wit Studio's there, and you got some sort of battle shonen looking anime, I'll check it out.
for Yaiba, a very high profile project for next year, which is basically the Mob Psycho team. And additionally with
Mob Psycho team? Yo, Mob Psycho also was this. Mob Psycho, I think, is one of the best animes ever, man. Like, the way that it concluded was so perfect. Rarely do you ever have an anime that actually sticks the landing at the end. So many different animes and manga and light novel, whatever, can start off hype, have an interesting hook, something unique, Sure, and you can keep that going for a while, but the ending, the conclusion, that's the hardest part. I really think that having a good ending that satisfies everybody and closes all the different, storylines, that's really hard to do. And Mob Psycho, they fucking killed it with the conclusion. And that's not even to say like the first 2 seasons too, bro. The first 2 seasons was so fucking good. Season 2, honestly, I think is one of my favorite. Like, season 2 might be my favorite season though. Even though season 3 was so good, the way that concluded, season 2, the way that we were fighting the claws, different, like the teleporter guy, bro. The fight against the teleporter dude, that shit went crazy.
The Mob Psycho team, and additionally with Maiko Okada as animation producer for Summer Ranking, and
Summer
also
Ranking, Giga
she's
Chad.
married to Kamada, so
Okay.
Who
Talent,
doesn't want to be close to their wife?
Rent a girlfriend. I will never understand rent a girlfriend memes though, because I haven't seen it, but one day we will. The tweet says, Chizuru is my girlfriend, says Rent a Girlfriend's author, while Reiji writes on Twitter, this girl is my beautiful girlfriend. Her name is Chizuru Mizuhara. She is a very kind girl, and she always forgives me in the end, even if she gets really mad at me afterwards. Lately, he has been drawing Chizuru in 3D backgrounds such as in bed, taking shower, coffee, date. Yo, the author is kind of... does this count as masturbation? Because think about it. This is his own creation. Well, no. That, no. Well, he's basically getting off to his own creation. That's not masturbation. But like, that is very funny that he gets off on his own shit.
Oh, what the fuck? Coming back to Yamashiro, his distinct style of directing and boarding is
Would it be incest? I don't know. That's like a byproduct of us, right? I don't know. This is a separate conversation to be had.
amazing, really utilizing everything, showing the unnerving nature of a place with just showing flashes of the art direction, really using lighting to his advantage to signify different emotions that the characters are talking about, or just a burst of Momo's emotion through the fucking spaceship exploding, and of course the different colors for the yokais or aliens. And again, clashing these very bold colors together
Red and
is
blue.
something that's not easy to translate to the final product. It's also something very good for directors to keep in mind. It's being resourceful, it's using limited drawings or other things, but still give that impact. A good
Yeah, like what SinChi said in the beginning of how they were able to make use of like making the most out of the little they had. And like the blue and red colors clashing, but really highlighting, each other. I guess that's like the point of that. Really making use of quote unquote limited resources.
example is these 3 to 4 flashes of drawings that's very intended to give you time on what's happening, and also it's very resourceful. That's
Yeah, because like obviously some people are gonna say, oh my god, PowerPoint slide, but rather there's like a very good intent of keeping the suspense so that each frame shows like a different section of Momo about to get graped.
that's very intended to give you time on what's happening, and also it's very resourceful. That same thing has also been in most episodes of Dandadan, even if it's by different directors. Again, with the lighting, they like to play around with it.
Red,
they use
blue.
it to give that suspense of revealing these fucking otherworld creatures or sex offenders wanting to eat some dick.
Yeah.
Like me. The relationship
Whoa. That Since he usually has like, he builds up a point, then the tempo of the cadence of what he's saying stops for a bit. Then he delivers the awkward punchline, but that awkwardness is like the execution of why it's funny, even though you might not think it's funny. But that dude, he just snuck that one in. He didn't even build it up. He just snuck that in there.
creatures or sex offenders wanting to eat some dick. Like me.
Yeah.
The relationship I have with my boyfriend with just using lighting tricks for
I've been seeing so much Nagisa Karma art for no reason, bro. There's a Twitter artist that just keeps drawing them over. I don't even know if it's the actual author or not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But on Twitter, there's this one account that keeps drawing Nagisa, Karma chip over and over again. I know it's the 10th year anniversary of our assassination classroom coming up, but goddamn.
with just using lighting tricks for a more unnerving tone. The very energetic nature of this project really can be in every segment in the show. The interactions are very comical in a way, while the dialogue itself is quite snappy. The anime really elevated it. The boards can be really unique, with sometimes distorting the background a bit, or just using some like manga panel.
Yeah, separating the panels here, distorting the background a bit, huh? Yeah, like look at the the background. See how it's kind of curved? It's kind of wonky, but that gives the illusions of depth, I guess. Like stuff like this, I can't even appreciate. Most people can never appreciate shit like this because it just goes over our heads because these scenes happen in just a matter of seconds, right? But I think at a subconscious level, we do feel the impact without being able to understand why, right? But like obviously now that we stop, okay, it's more, distorted and warped and gives the illusions of depth by bending. But even if we didn't understand that by just watching this scene, you can still feel something.
Sometimes distorting the background a bit, or just using some like manga panels type shit for montages. The animation
shit.
itself, how exaggerated the character acting is, giving so much characteristics, and sometimes the character can look so stupid
scene.
for comedic purposes. I mean, what the fuck is he running to, man?
I
And
don't
also how
know.
weighty it is. The animators can really do whatever they want with their own specific art style. Really enhances with the expressions and of course the direction, sometimes slowing the scenes. Even for occurrence morphing, and also this little cut
Ooh.
is so interesting. How the glasses makes it unproportioned
See through the lens over there?
or just distort it because
That is such a small attention to detail that again most people will never be able to appreciate, but that's art right here.
proportioned or just distort it because glasses does that with the vision. It's such a subtle yet
realistic.
hard thing to do. For Takeru Noda, the animator for this, the action too, how ambitious and dynamic.
Like I wonder if directors ever feel like there's no point doing shit like this because the average monkey could never appreciate this, you know? Like imagine just like the countless different things that we've just never understood or even like acknowledged because it just goes over our head. We just sit there and watch all these crazy attention to detail and crazy mechanics are happening from a production value standpoint. And the directors will never be like, they will never have that like gratification that like the masses understand my greatness. But it's just like, I am doing too much for these monkeys who can't even appreciate art.
Noda, the animator for this, the action too, how ambitious and dynamic everything is. The dynamic poses and almost very wacky action is so good. Also, the colors are very interactive with the fight. We saw a lot of cases with episode 1, 2,
Red,
4,
blue.
and many more. With this monochromatic coloring that makes the vibrant colors stand out even more. Like when Okarun dashes like fucking Sonic.
Ooh.
And even some stuff in episode 1 also. But the most ambitious usage of it was with episode 4 by Moko-chan.
I've met people who literally talk over movie dialogue and keep watching like they didn't miss anything. Bro, that's just every reaction channel that doesn't pause. Myself included. Like, go back to my old reactions where I don't even pause, bro. I'm literally talking over the anime without even realizing that I'm missing shit. That's why I believe like pausing to give your take and fully dissecting it is like so integral in understanding the story, or else like you can't fully understand it. It's hard. It's really hard. I tried really hard, and I think that I did a better job than most when I was not pausing and doing reactions to truly understand everything. But definitely things were getting missed always, and I could not like highlight my commentary and analysis.
Moko-chan helmed this episode and has always been the assistant director for all the 9 episodes that's out right now. He was there since the beginning of the production with Yamashiro, so that the style that he built can still be brought forth in the other episodes that Yamashiro maybe couldn't do much
Consistency.
supervision. Another person that should get more credit is Kensuke Ushio's OSTs. He did a really good job.
Yes, soundtrack composer. It's Kensuke Ushi. I'll remember his name. This is, bro, the piano soundtrack in episode 7 killed me.
Mixing so many genres and even sampling some popular songs, like in episode 4, William Tell Overturn Final. I don't remember the
Yeah, the classical music that was playing when we were running.
titles. And even with episode 5, with this guitar solo, it's something that was from an old movie called Kaiki Daisa Kusen from 1968, and it was also used in Karekano, but Danadan used it for a different motive slash scenes than those two. It was more awkward. And of course for the other episodes, Ushio popped off too with the soundtrack. Same goes for the VAs. Episode 4 kind of culminated everything in episode 1 and kind of turned it up a notch in terms of the ambition of the episode. Episode 1 still looks better. It can feel so isolated with the fight scene in the tunnel. Using some clever framing work to make us viewer feel that our character being trapped, or it can just turn into something so energetic and fun when we're outside of the tunnel, with the Canada flair and the bombastic nature of everything. Also, sometimes using
There's one thing that I was frustrated with, where sometimes it was like too dark to actually see what's going on, right? And these frames that I'm seeing now, it's pretty visible. But sometimes, bro, like holy shit. And I'm not, Dandadan does a pretty good job, but some other animes, bro, like Orb, for example, bro, like you can't see anything at nighttime. Everything is just pitch black. All I can see is the subtitles.
using 3D backgrounds for a more complex shot to translate that speed, or still drawing background animation even if the shot still looks very complex to do because you have animators that can do that for the episode. Talking
Talent.
about animators, well, there's a lot of
What was this? Hold up. Okay. Search. Okay, I thought that we were looking for something else here. I saw a bunch of tags.
a lot of really good ones and interesting looking cuts by very new animators, or just go uncredited because maybe they're an in-house animator for SinChi. One animator I want to say is Momofuji. While he hasn't appeared in the last 5 episodes, he was definitely one that stood out for me, with his energetic cuts that's really good at the hold and release part. Of course, his drawing quality
Hold and release.
good at the hold and release stood out for me, with his energetic cuts that's really good at
That's the hold and release. That mechanic of you're holding by having all this different, movement happening, and then releases when Okarin shows up.
his energetic cuts that's
Hold,
really good
release.
at the hold and release part. Of course, his drawing quality, even for non-action scenes, is really good. Also, there's a lot of Canada style animators in Dandadan,
Hold and
or just very
release.
talented freelance animators in the project. I've already gave my flowers for Enomoto, so
Yeah.
go check that video out.
Enomoto
I talk more in
cracked.
depth about episode 7. Now, I did probably have my expectations for the show quite high, more so talking about how it was gonna look pretty consistent every episode. But of course, this is the anime industry, no high profile show will look consistent. Maybe if it's by KyoAni or Ufotable, but that besides the point. Of course,
Did Dandadan not be consistent all the way throughout? I guess in comparison to, let's say, Tower of God or Blue Lock or so many other shows, I couldn't really tell the difference. But I guess even Dandadan could not keep... I mean, who can keep that polish through all the way out? I think it's more about like how well, like the difference in the quality, like how volatile is it? Is it a huge dip between episode 1 and the other episode where it's just like low priority, or is it a small dip where you can have this, pretty decent volatility line and the consistency is there even though it's not all the way out through perfect?
I wasn't expecting like episode 1 consistency or even episode 7 for the whole way through, but the problems was appearing already from the earlier episodes. These problems are just the norm for the industry, as sad as that sounds. Yes, some can be related
Like no anime can ever, escape this problem. This is just like an industry-wide problem.
to the studio because SinChi has experienced not the best conditions or scheduling for their own projects, but seemingly this is the worst case. Even for episode 1, they had 4 assistant episode directors, 9 animation directors, and 8 assistant animation directors.
Jesus.
If you compare that to episode 7, arguably the best looking episode, with probably more detailed drawings, had 1 animation director and 1 assistant animation director.
And why is it better this way? Too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Having that clear vision, Shuto Enomoto being able to carry through his vision and consistency and the quality throughout the entire part, rather than having too many people that then gets like fragmented in terms of like their vision and what they want and how it becomes less, I guess, fluid?
They definitely wrapped the production pretty quickly. Even if they finished production before the air date, that doesn't mean anything. Just take any Adult Swim animes. They finished the project months before, but
This Uzumaki Ninja Kamui right now? This is Ninja Kamui, right? Where like the fight. This is episode 1 Ninja Kamui, right? Where people were really hyped up, like, oh my god, yo, this is it. Yo, Ninja Kamui is the hype new shit, and then wah wah.
project months before, but in the final product, it's a mess. Although this probably won't affect Dandadan, yes, the quality can waver a lot with different episodes. Like episode 3, they had to chill out a bit so that some other episodes can look
pop
as
off,
good
yeah.
as episode 1. It's all about time and resource management. Yes, there is some stiffness in betweening errors, weak looking drawings, and layout butcher.
Are they really weak looking? Like, again, like My monkey eyes cannot decipher. Is this weak? I guess compared to the other really greatness, it is. But like the relative difference, the like the what's the delta, right? The difference between the peak and the weak. I feel like the difference is way smaller compared to so many other shows that we're watching, where it's so apparent in the other shows. Where, bro, like Newgate, for example, a character's eye and nose features were literally on the other side of that guy's face. Like take the fucking ear nosing. It was here. It was falling apart mid fucking animation.
And layout butchering, but all in all, for normies, it won't affect your viewing experience.
Exactly. I think I am the normie. I'm trying really harder to really awaken my third eye through these videos to understand what am I missing out on? What do I really need to understand to like appreciate production value? But it's really difficult for me. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's because we've just been watching so much fucking shit seasonals over and over again that I've just been blinded. But to a normie like me, yeah, there's like a very negligible difference in the quality that I've seen from other episodes. For sure, I can tell that episode 7, episode 1, episode 4 are like priority. But the other shit, when we're just kind of like just chilling, more downtime, less priority episodes, I thought the quality was pretty still amazing.
But one thing I didn't like is the compositing or colors for episode 8 to 9.
Okay.
It felt very bright and saturated.
Compared to the Clash or the the blue and red before, yeah, this part it does. It's a little bit harder on the eyes.
There's so many cases in previous episodes.
Yeah, the blue and red here I think is a very good way of a mix, but the highlight green is a bit too much.
That the compositing and overall value control can be good. Either that they really didn't have the time to do what they did for the latter episodes, because seemingly it disrupted the drawings. Drawing any color that our character possesses, it's too saturated and there's some kind of glow effect or color grading thing. If you just look at these two shots, the orange are just overbearing with a flat color.
Yeah, the orange background, it's not as a good comparison to like, you know, this one, right? The top one definitely looks more like I can see it better. The bottom one, everything kind of seems to bleeds in.
The orange are just overbearing with a flat color palette that doesn't work well. But for this shot from episode 1, there's so many colors clashing.
Yeah, but it works well. It stands out. I don't feel like it's bleeding.
But it looks good, and the drawings itself stands out. Of course.
Yeah, the very bold lines. Japanese businessman ass. But yeah, like these lines, like even this, like the sparkly, everything here, it looks really good.
But it looks good, and the drawings itself stands out. Of course, there's also other aspects, like the posing and foreshortening is better, but that doesn't matter from what I'm talking about. Dandan's almost finished airing, and it's easy to say that this show really stood out this season.
Yes. I think my fall 2024 anime of the season, I have to give it to Dandadan, man. As much as I'm a ReZero glazer, ReZero Season 3 hasn't even finished yet. ReZero will be graded on a different time. ReZero is literally halfway through the first arc of the 2 arcs I'm hoping that they're going to cover, right? So I think that ReZero shouldn't even be in the running for like fall 2024 anime. I think Danmachi is up there. Danmachi has been amazing. Blue Lock, I can't put it up there. In terms of enjoyment, it's definitely up there. But like if you think about the consistency of the quality of every episode, like you can't just cherry pick one episode and say this is the reason why this is anime of the season, right? I mean, you can. At the end of the day, it's your personal preference. But I want to at least weigh in on the consistency of the quality of every episode rather than just be like, oh, this one episode was so hyped that I'm going to forget about everything else. I think Rama is also great. Exactly. Rama, I think, is amazing as well. Ranma, Danmachi, Dandadan. I mean, remember, we're putting ReZero out of this one right now. What else? That's pretty much it. Arifureta, I don't think is really up there in terms of production value. Definitely, it's better than most, though. Like, Arifureta production value is probably better than Spirit Chronicles. Spirit Chronicles, although, is like a fan-funded project. It's hard to compare that. If we compare, let's say, the Talker, the Notorious Talker anime, and Grief Souls, I think those two are, it's pretty decent. Grief Soul and Talker is decent, but it's not like standout, you know? That's more like B tier, I think. I think Dandadan, Danmachi is like S tier. Maybe Rama is also S tier, but maybe Rama is A tier. I don't know. I haven't seen Blue Box because of copyright shit. Orb is pretty good. That's Mappa as well. That's gonna definitely be quality. I hate the fact that I can't see shit at dark times in Orb though. Maybe they don't do that anymore, but at night times, bro, you can't see fucking anything. But I feel like Talker and Grieve Soul and animes like that caliber is probably a cut below, you know, Ranma. I don't know. Ranma, Damachi Dandadan. I don't know. And then there's like Talker, Grieving Souls, and those kind of like standard animes, and then below that is like Spirit Chronicles and all the other fucking mid production values. But again, Spirit Chronicles, I don't really blame them because fan funded project.
I want to say a lot more, but Pussy Blood Clot. Also, thank you to Kevin for making the Sargo blog. There's a lot more information about that, so you know, if you want the full picture of everything, just read that blog. If you guys
Bro, you should read the blog. That's easy content you could farm. Maybe I'll do it.
like this video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a like. Comment down below what your thoughts on Dandadan.
Yeah.
And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.
All right, SinChi, thank you so much for educating us again about the wonders of production value in anime. Here's a link to his video. Please go give it a like. Go support his channel if you want. And I'll see you guys next time.